Okay, so make Orion presenter, please.
Oh, alright. Is it working?
No.
It's coming out.
Tried to for a second.
It started, but it didn't.
Okay, who's doing number 2?
Alright, sorry. Lost to mention that for a second.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Alright.
Guys, I'm going to step out for a minute, but go ahead and continue on with the meeting without me.
Alright.
Alright, so this is the 2 guide curves. Got it hit right now. But this is what it looks like when it's completed. So this is my sweep up here. And if I double click it, you can see that I have 2 separate sketches, which is basing my guide curve on. And then from those sketches, I extruded I extruded it so it had a surface to select tangents to. So you would choose, I'll just walk you through it. So if I bet for the surface, curve here, confluence, do guide curves. Alright, so guide curve 1 here is tangency, and then guide curve 2 is tangency. Oh no, I messed it up. Almost there, guys.
Make that your in-work object.
Oh, thank you.
I kept doing that too.
I was like, why is that not working? That's... Okay. I'm sorry, my computer is very slow. There we go. Okay, stop. Do that again. So you have your first guide curve line, your tangency, which is your surface. Second one. Click that. Boy, my computer is doing that. Alright. And then preview it. And so what you're seeing is this conic is trying to keep tangency with the surfaces that you have created in extrudes on your guide curve. And hopefully that makes sense. And everyone gets any questions? No?
No. No, that was a good demo.
Alright, pass it on to the next person's post.
Alrighty.
Look like it can change your. Oh.
No, you don't get to know.
Who is next?
I am. The other day.
That was Dave, huh? You are a presenter. Hey, you guys know I can kick Dave out of our meeting. I'm not sure. I can also demote him to just a viewer.
Oh, nice. He has the power.
Yeah, I think he's got the power to take it back though when he wants to.
Yeah, I bet he does.
Alright, so we're going to conic. And we'll do 3 guide curves. Again, this is very similar to what Orion just did. We're picking our guide curve 1 and what it's tangent to. guide curve 2 and what its tangent. Oh, sorry, wrong order. Guide curve 2 is the one that's going to be in the middle. Obviously, you count 1, 2, 3, but I was getting ahead of myself. And then your last guide curve and its tangent surface. And just hit OK. And you can see, like Orion's, it made a tangent surface here and here, but it made an angle around this second guide curve. And then we can change some of these angles around a little bit.
Go ahead and hit preview again.
Change these both up to 6 and see what it looks like. Oh, it doesn't like it. Never mind.
Pretty fancy on a few of these, like you have to have the exact right angles and stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. Can't make too much of an angle here. You lose tangency. I like the guide curve too for creating a nice smooth curve. Although this is rounded, you can tell here. It is still a conic. It's just a much tighter bend at the end with that first 2 curve. But that's pretty much it.
Any questions?
Guide curve 1, surface, guide curve 2, last guide curve and surface.
Pretty straightforward, huh?
Yeah.
Now that I got the T on it, it makes a lot more sense.
It's funny how that works.
Who has the next one?
I did.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Here, here's present over.
Okay, so I had the 4 guide curves. First thing I did is actually I made a spline, and then I extruded a piece so I could actually go off of it. And then over the surface, in here. So on the 4 guide curve, it says 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I did is I started from here, and I ended up going. Oh, actually, I will unhide it so it doesn't mess it up too much more. I'll show everybody. I made so I made this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put them on different planes. So they're actually different levels. And I did it at 45 degrees, but if you do it at 180, you can see a big difference in what it looks like. Whoa. So you can actually change this up. Say if you do like a 360, I can't remember if this will work or not. Yeah, 360 does, but it just does the same curve to it.
I like a 240.
Let's see, 240. Try that here, up here. Let's see, there. That is the most. So I mean, I played around a little bit, kind of did some different angles in there. So I say the 180 was always was my favorite. So that's actually what's that?
90? What would like 90 look like? Half of that.
90.
Puts it back the other way.
Yeah, puts it back to the way. So that's the original look at it. And then, like I said, I started manipulating the angles, and I changed different angles in there to show it. So, for instance, just going back, this is the guide, your G1, your G2, your G3, and G4.
Yeah, mine looks a lot different because I made mine kind of look more like their start model they had.
You did have to grab a tangency after the curve one, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it came down to tangent and it said plane 10. So that's the one I did. A little different. I kind of manipulated things, so
Good looking.
Yeah.
that's how it came out. On to the next one.
I ended up with taking over the last one.
Okay.
I am getting there. Let me change the background. I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we got our, these are my two startup lines that I just kind of cut through all of them. And just started adding lines across on the, across from that other plane. To just kind of make it look like it. And then the peak itself just kind of, just came right in. So on this one, there was actually no tendencies to have to select. So you just kind of select your lines in order. That's what you end up with.
So mine came out a little different than that even.
Mike, can you actually close yours off and demo it?
You want me to just like go to a different part and make a new one?
No, I want you to just create it. Hide your surface and create it.
So, from this point on,
Yeah.
so from here we have our 5 guide surface. I'm gonna actually go in reverse order this time and see what it turns out like. So there's just select a curve, select a curve. I didn't put any funny angles on them because they're just kind of like the turning point of the main curve. Nope. It already grabbed the default for the spine and it's right there.
Does it look like you selected in a different order? Have you tried that?
I have not.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Just wondering.
You know, with the way the directions look, it's probably just gonna fail. You know, just not gonna like it. But
Yeah, they can all have to be in
here, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might be able to make that, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I got angry.
It got angry.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, I think going through all of them, I found this one, it was just like, wow, that is the easiest one. No grab on tangencies or anything, you don't have to extrude any surfaces, you just have to have the guide curve lines to make whatever you need to do happen. And then it's right there. And it looks like a futuristic hangar or something. Alright.
So that forms off of the shortest of the lines. Just the parameter. Shortest line, right?
Well, that formed off the one that was the default spline.
Yeah, I don't know why.
See if you can try grabbing like it's for spline. What happens if you grab the middle curve?
No, it says
Oh,
guides and spines.
so maybe you're right there, Rob. It does go off the shortest line.
That gives it its limit.
I think so. Can we look at it from a different view?
Like top down.
Maybe the sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so catching this
So that's
limit
the
over
shortest
here
one
and
of
this
the other.
limit over there.
You guys remember I said it has to cross, the spine has to cross all the curves. So it's only going to create where all 5 guide curves intersect the perpendicular of the spine.
So the default
That
spine.
yeah, that's not going to matter. What's going to matter is it's got to cross all 5. If you hit OK right now,
It'll go.
see the left side, it stops where it does not cross all 5
Right. And
lines
over
anymore.
here on the right side, it stops right there. That's
So
my limit.
the length of the spine is not controlled by the shortest line or the spine. It is controlled by the intersection of all elements. The guide curves as well as the spine all have to intersect in order for it to create a surface.
Nice.
Okay. Is there any other questions for Michael Dean? Michael, can you hide your sweeps? I suppose you could delete 5 because you don't really need it. Oh, and it looks like... Okay, let's try it. I'm going to try something. Go to the ISO view. Okay, so you worked on the XZ plane. Can you select the XZ plane? Yeah, create a sketch.
The 2 bottom
Okay.
points are up here in my other sketch, so.
Can you go to spine? Wait a minute, sorry. Hit the down arrow where the curve is, or the spine is.
You mean the spline?
And pick conic. Is there another pop-up window? I'm not, okay.
Popping
Okay,
up all over.
stop. Oh, it did that?
No, I think this one was late.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should be from the last one, right? Look up on your conic options. What's the next one over say? And the next one?
4 points.
And the next one?
5 points.
So guess what this would be doing?
The same thing that we just did, huh?
In fact, if you go ahead and click on the 5 point,
Do I need to add 2 more points to this
no,
one?
just go click on the 5 point,
Okay.
and then just click randomly where you think the points would be. Starting with the first point, and then work your way over. I don't know if you can grab that point or not. Because it's
No,
not
it's
really
not
there.
grab.
But you can put something close.
Overlaying. Oh, what that is.
Okay, see what that did? So,
Closed it, though.
you gotta...
Started at 3 o'clock.
So, last time you guys were trying to mix up the order of the lines. Okay?
Okay.
And it didn't work, right? Remember it gave you that warning?
Yeah.
And this time I tried to go in order of the points. And you started with the 3 o'clock position, the one on the... Put your cursor where it started.
I started to click. I clicked down here. To
And
see
what? And then you picked the second one where?
This one.
And the third one?
Around.
Fourth one? And the fifth one? So why is there a gap there?
Oh, okay. So just click on your first guide curve, and then click to your second guide curve, and then go through the middle.
Okay, let's hit undo.
Don't
That's
circles
right,
and
yeah.
Katia like to work from 3 o'clock clockwise?
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
That is a great guess, but circles go counterclockwise.
Oh,
Because you go from 0 to 90 to 180 to 270 to 360. That's counterclockwise, right?
Here,
Start here. Wait. What's it say now? Hit undo. Hit undo. Try it again. What's it say right now? What's the box say?
H vector is 2.2691.
No. To the left of that.
The V vector.
To the left of that.
Oh, it says we're in the 5 points.
To the right of that.
Start point.
Okay, pick your start point. Then tell me, what does the box say?
Is to go to the end point.
Aha. So where's the next curve you picked was which one?
This one.
But that's not your
That's
end
why I
point.
made the gap right there.
Okay, so we got to watch the box in this case. Okay, so hit the end point, and then what does it say?
First point.
Okay,
Does it matter where it goes now?
and then just go ahead and click on that. And what's it say now?
Second point, third point,
Yep.
we're done.
And that's how it creates the curve. This
And
curve
that's 30.
is a conic. Okay, so you have a conical curve that has it's perfect for the aerodynamic, no reflection lines. It's the smoothest curve I can possibly generate to work with. So when you're working with stuff, you guys got to keep that in mind. Maybe the conic curve is my best solution, and all I have to do now is create a surface. That's a simple sweep surface. Do a simple sweep surface.
Okay, good man.
And what kind of surface am I going to use here? I'm going to use line. Under line, I'm going to use what subtype?
With draft direction.
Okay. And then select a curve.
This one?
Yes. And then a direction. And then does it ask for a length?
Right here. 5 inches deal?
Sure. You can always preview it. Well, maybe you can't.
Oh, hang on, I got a trick for this, everybody. So when the buttons are below your bar, right click on the bar and go to wait.
So close.
It was there. It was there just like a show task buttons. It was the high. It hid it in the other view. Taskbar
Yeah, I
settings.
was having the same problem with this command.
Yeah. Automatically hide. If you go to taskbar settings, you can automatically hide your start bar.
Huh.
Cool.
Did you guys see it disappear?
Alright, I gotta do that right now.
And then it'll pop back up if your cursor just goes down over it. So
Perfect,
Does it
man.
only disappear then? Sometimes, or is it just like that all the time then?
it'll automatically hide the taskbar in desktop mode. And then you can
Okay.
choose to hide it in the tablet mode. You have the small task buttons. I have the small task buttons
Then you
on.
just hover over it and it pops up.
Yeah, and then if you right click on it and go to this gear, you'll see the settings where I changed that.
Cool deal.
It drops off, and then you can get to these buttons now.
Go ahead and hit preview.
Boom.
Maybe a little longer, huh?
Yeah, we'll go 10.
Live dangerously. Go twice as big.
Huh.
All right.
We can always be bigger. Go 20. Oh.
So even though I'm in the line command, my surface is conical.
True. That is a good shape.
Do you guys follow me on that? That's probably the smoothest possible surface you can create. So that's awesome. So a great demo on that, Mike.
Thank you.
And
was
I
great.
just
like,
want I want to expand with that by showing you all the stuff I just did can be done in the sketch command as well, right?
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any questions for Mike? Somebody had mentioned they did something, but they got a lot different looking results. Who was that? You, Jones?
I thought that was John.
Oh, I think that might have been me
Oh,
on
that was
the 4 guides. So I made mine look more like the start model from the download.
Can we see
But
yours?
it had a different shape.
Can you pull yours up?
Yeah.
You're presenting, Mike.
Look at that. Alright.
And then I think Greg Jones, you said one previous was no. Greg Jones was demoing, and somebody else said they got a lot different results. Who was that?
Yeah.
I think you were talking about the same instance.
Yeah. The 4 guides.
I think it's the Pro Guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just made mine in a different shape.
Go ahead and show us how you made yours, hide yours, and recreate it, please.
Alright.
Maybe just for now, hide your task action pad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hide your action pad.
Oh, the action pad? Yeah. Oh, go there.
And
Alright, let's see, I'll just hide this whole thing. Okay, so four guys. So for this one, for the first guide curve, I just made a little spline. Let's see, I guess that'll work.
Man, never line up to the axis. Anywhere but the axis.
Okay. Good.
Walk me through what you're doing, Mike, so I know what you're doing.
Well, I was asking if you wanted me to undo it and start over, because
Yeah, highlight the whole thing, delete it.
okay.
Do not lock up to the axis, guys. I know I say this all the time.
It locks it down so you can't move anything.
Yeah.
Well, I know how to break out of it, but if you don't lock it down, then you don't have to break out of it. Just don't get into that situation.
I started just with a spline. And for the tangency,
Don't you have all this geometry already built?
yeah, I thought you wanted me to go through the whole thing now.
Well, just from the part of making the surface, not the construction geometry.
Alright. Okay, I can do that. I didn't build these ones with common tools because I was just trying to.
That's fine. Sometimes you're just busy trying to get it to work, so.
Yeah, so that's where I started. That's my surface I made.
So basically, that's the spine you just created, and then create an extruded surface from it.
Yeah, the line there, and I did.
Now, instead of an extruded surface, what kind of surface should you be doing for this
I
exercise?
should have done a sweep,
That is correct.
but I made this before we went over that the other day.
Okay.
And then I made just 3 more splines for my other 3 guides.
And those are all in the sketch command?
Yeah. Yeah, I just put sketches on planes. And then for guide curve 1, I selected this one right here. And the surface for the tangency. And then just right on down the line, guide curve 2, guide 3, and the last one. And damn it. Oh, for crying out loud. What did I do?
Put the 4 guides into your work product here. Not thinking straight today. Make that your in-work object.
Oh. That's what I did.
Like it?
Wait, no, but
Yeah, it should come in. It should be fine. It will come in the other
yeah, I'm in the
geometrical
sweep right
set,
here.
which is fine for the demo purpose.
Okay.
What the hell?
John Trumbull, did you say?
Your tangency
That's
got
how
on the
that
line.
your curve instead of pretending.
Oh, it grabbed an edge. Thank you.
Yeah, you always want to make sure you're grabbing close to the surface, not towards the edge. It will snap to the edges.
There we go. So that's what it ended up with.
Okay, excellent. So that was the second example of 4 guide curves, yes?
Yeah.
Who did the other one? 4 guide curves?
I did.
That was you, Greg. And Greg, Jones, you said you had another 5 guide curve that looked a lot different than the demo we saw that Michael Dane did?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't actually able to get the complete angle like he did.
Can we take a look at yours?
Sure.
Okay, Duffy, thank you for sharing.
So I was going through the information and I thought it was talking about putting on different planes each of the lines to make the guide curves. I just think I might need to redo it myself.
Well, let me see. Let's see what you tried.
So I tried to do the sweep here, the command here, and I started with the front one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but it came out this direction, and then I used the planes. I built the planes, the points off of the planes, and it came out really kind of weird.
All right, so cancel that.
Okay.
Hide your sweep.
Okay.
Recreate the sweep surface.
Okay. So 5 curves. So first guide is the top one here. Second curve. Third. Fourth. And last. And then preview. And it comes out like that. So it didn't catch this. The surface didn't actually touch guide curve 4 or guide curve 3.
Okay, go ahead and close that window off and rotate it so you can see the side of that. All right, you see, it really can't. So what it's going to do is going to say, I'm going to use these guide curves to create the smoothest possible transition I can from one guide curve, the start guide curve, to the last guide curve.
Okay.
It would no longer have been conical if it actually hit those. So what it does is it mathematically computes the smoothest possible conical curve it can create using those parameters.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I understand now what you're saying.
All right, so I'm glad you ran into that so we could share that with the rest of the class. Is everybody else seeing what's going on? Any questions?
That's why they call it a guide.
Yes. It's a guide curve, but it doesn't necessarily have to lie tangent to his lines. The surface itself does not have to hit the guide curve's tangent.
Okay.
All right. Select OK to that, and you are good to go, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yep, you can actually undo, and thank you for sharing.
No problem.
I'm hoping that when you guys see this, that you guys are kind of learning together.
I have a question. How come how come 5 guide curves is the maximum? How come you couldn't just keep doing more and more and more guide curves?
Oh, I don't know. That's a Dassault question. They didn't make it unlimited.
Yeah, because I was wondering that. Why does it stop at 5? You know, where it seems like you could just keep
Actually,
going.
no, I think that's a math question I'm not addressing. I think it has 6, when you try and give it 6 parameters,
The math won't add up right.
it won't come up to, you could have a guide curve that's so far out of whack it couldn't be a conic anymore. Because remember, it's got to still fit within the parallelogram. So if the guide curve can't fit into the parallelogram somehow, then it probably won't generate it. Okay? How are we doing so far, guys? Is
I'm
watching...
gonna try to go break it right now with the 5 lines, so I'll tell you how it goes.
Okay, yeah, well... Uh-oh. Are you guys seeing my screen?
No.
I'm gonna make you presenter. You don't need to be. You are.
Yeah, I just tried to share and it just didn't work. Let me try again.
Kind of hiccups on us.
Maybe I screwed up. Okay, so guys, you can give me a thumbs up if this is helping you going over it together as a group.
Oh, for sure. Thumbs up.
I don't want to waste your time, but I feel like you can get a lot of good information if we're working together as a group. Seeing how other people are doing it, you get different perspectives. What I'm trying to do is challenge you guys to read the online documentation. I'm trying to challenge you to do the unthinkable, read directions. And I know myself that's a struggle, because like I'll get something from Home Depot, and the first thing I do is toss the directions to the side and start trying to assemble it without the directions. I don't know if anybody else is like me and does that same thing, but that's the issue I have. And then when I'm sure I've screwed it up, I start going back through the directions. I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is I'm doing wrong. The main reason I want to force you to do those directions or follow this is because I do want you to understand you're going to run into lots of stuff. There's no way I can show you everything on CAD. A lot of times you have to try and figure it out on your own. And you know what workbench to use, but you don't know what the features are, so you can kind of go through the online documentations, try and figure out and take a best guess of what might look like what you're trying to do as you go through the online doc. You see little pictures of what they're doing. If you can find something that looks like what you're doing, then it might be helpful, and you can try out those steps. And then what I like a lot is if you can pull up their practice parts, you don't have to practice on your part, you practice on theirs. And then if you can get it to work, then you can try it on your stuff. Okay? Alright, how are we doing? Any questions so far? I got one less demo and we'll take a break. So we have wrapped up the conics. I want to create a parallelogram. So that's a parallelogram, right? I create an axis down the middle. I'll divide this just for kicks here. I'll create points equally spaced. Wrong line. I'll create the points equally spaced. What? Let's try and create this line. And I want to do 3 points, creating 4 equal spaces. Therefore, I have 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. 75% also represents 0.5 parameter of a conic. So if I go to conics, use tangent intersection, select start point, an endpoint, the tangent intersection. I'm following the box, the tool tablet. It's telling me what to pick. Tells me to pick the start, the end, the tangent intersection, and then the parameter value. So I could just click on that, and that curve right there is the curve I would want to use to make a conical surface. Now when I exit out and go to extrude, we'll grab that curve, select OK. Alright, that curve represents a conic. The smoothest transition I can get from one end to the next.
So what's the difference between conic and hyperbole then?
I am not going to demo those. I don't have a demo for them, but you can always click on F1 and go try and do those demos as well. Alright, I just wanted to show you different ways to use the conic. I think it can be kind of mind-boggling how many different ways you can use the same feature and how many different results you can get. That's why I like to see other things other than the canned demos instead of me just doing one demo and everybody learns that one thing. I think you learn a lot more when you kind of experiment and try your own things. So that's going to conclude the conic exercise demo. If there's no further questions, let's take a 10-minute break.